Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Saturday. It is time for Cozy Couch Conversations. We're starting a little late today, but that's okay. Special treat for you guys today. I'm just waiting for my two queens to join the live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in the building. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Hello. It is Saturday, guys, and it is time for Cozy Couch Conversations with the three queens from Queens. Okay. Oh,
Hey,
there's one
hey,
queen, and where is the other?
good evening.
Hello, hello, hello. And here's the other one. Hello. Can you see me?
Yes,
Just gonna adjust my stand. There's the
Hey,
other one. Hello,
there we
queen.
go.
hey,
Give me
how
one
are
second.
y'all?
I am phenomenal.
Good. There we go. All right.
How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm doing amazing.
Doing absolutely, absolutely amazing. Today's been a very interesting day,
To say the
to say the
least.
least. To say the
Yes,
least.
if
Today has
y'all
been a
notice, we're not on a couch per se, but this just goes to show you that we are definitely um, committed because it's not the couch that makes us, that make this. We make the couch. So
Hey,
the couch goes wherever we go. And so
okay.
we're on the grind, right? We're about our
hmm
business. So we just gonna make it happen. Disclaimer, we're in the same location, but
yes.
in order to get everybody on the same screen at the same time, we have decided we're gonna go live just in the same location but different spots. So yeah.
All
Hello.
right. All right.
So, thank you guys for tuning in.
Can you please at one?
What? I don't know what that means.
Nobody knows what that means.
Retype that for me, pretty girl London or preach.
Please
Okay.
re-ask. Was that a question, a statement?
Let's
Can you?
rock and roll.
Okay. So, it is time for Cozy Couch Conversations with the three queens of Creeds, where your Saturday night starts here, guys.
Here.
Here. Here.
I like the shirts. Hey.
Hey.
Yes.
So,
Hello. Hello.
this is our shirt. We have another little queen. We that is on the
Yeah,
couch.
she's currently preoccupied with the iPad.
Let's listen.
So
Little screen time is okay, just a little bit.
yeah.
Right, right, right. So, for those of you who do, this is maybe your first time on our Cozy Couch Conversations IG Live, want to briefly introduce myself. Hello, everyone. My name is Chi Coleman. Swing to the next person.
Hello,
And
everyone. My name is Evie Waite.
my name is Empress Monique Warren, and we are the three queens from Queens. And we started this as a way to be able to
Connect
connect and talk about our
journey.
just whatever's going on, our journey. If you don't know, we are all three of us are business partners, but we're also friends,
Hmm.
and we have a journey where we reconnected after 20 years. So welcome, welcome, guys. I see you following in. Um,
Right.
so we sharing our journey with you guys. On the couch, any topic can be talked about. Nothing is scripted. It's unfiltered, and it
Right.
is real life. We are all moms. Um, my profession is healthcare administration, but I'm also an entrepreneur. And Chi.
And I am an educator, and I'm also an entrepreneur as well, trader, investor.
And Edie.
Yes, I'm a mom as well, as you can hear in the background. My child,
Wow.
give it to me. Give it to me. I work in law enforcement, and I'm also an entrepreneur. So yeah.
Okay.
So, we're connected, through an amazing educational platform called I Am Mastery Academy, where we, have learned the skill of trading and investing. So that's how we're connected. But on a larger scale, our journey has intertwined us to where, beyond just being business partners, we're friends, and tonight's topic
You're welcome.
is very special, because it's a word that many of us throw out all the time, and we say it without really, people say it without really having a real idea of what it means. Chi, why don't you tell them what the topic is?
I knew that
The
was
topic
coming.
is
I knew that was
love. So yes, want to have a conversation about, talking about love. Love is an acronym as well. Living off of various emotions, right? And actually, it can be living off of various expectations too. To really think
Oh,
about
you
it.
flipped it. I
Various
said emotions.
energies.
Oh, energy.
So energy too, right? Yeah. So it was interesting conversation because when we think of love, it can apply to different parts of our life, right? Different facets of our life. We've been talking about friendships can be a form of love. You can talk about your intimate relationships too, right? Whether it's with someone, significant other. We can talk about love when we're talking about family as well. And then we could talk about love isn't just the energy, the emotion, the expectations when we're talking about business as well. Like if there's something, the desire that anything that you want to do, right? So wanted to, kind of just share my thoughts, on love. I want to say like from a personal standpoint, I have, gotta watch my words here.
Unfiltered,
but I still
unscripted.
gotta be,
Yeah.
I know.
still gotta be a little smart with it. I've come across different people, that I've met, right? So let's start from a friendship level. When we're thinking about love and we're thinking about people that, we meet, come across, we have friendships, sisterhoods. Love is something to me that is something that's intangible, something that's tangible as well, right? So love can be, when we're talking about, well, actually, that's gonna be another conversation when we're talking about love languages too. That's a whole nother thing too.
Hey, Lisa. Hey,
Um,
Juju.
Hey, what's up, y'all? So when we're talking about people that we know, whether it's friendships, family, right, personal relationships, the thing that I wanted to pose for you all was also thinking about what does love mean to you, right? So I wanted to see if this can be a little bit more interactive with people who are tuning in. Hey, what's up, Lisa? What does love mean to you? So while we're all talking and sharing out, parts of what we're thinking of when we're talking about love, I want you to drop what it means to you, because this is going to show you how broad this can be, and how a lot of times too there is miscommunication, right, or misinterpretation, right, because we have different expectations, different energies, all the E's, right, that we were saying. So for me, I've realized that when it comes to love, I'm someone who's service oriented, right? What does love, not live?
Oh,
She meant love.
yeah.
She meant love.
Yeah, what does love mean to you, right?
Autocorrect
So
here, people.
I'm someone who's not just because there's some people who like to hear it all the time. And I've come to realize that's not me. You know, I'm an action person. So it has to be in your things that you do, you know, how you move.
Exactly.
So, but everyone's different. Some people need to constantly hear somebody say that. Like, you know, when, I don't know, I'm going to use a personal experience of mine. I remember, you know, I was dating someone and they used that word and I did not respond. Right. And for some, that could crush their heart, right?
Right.
Because there was an expectation, right? They thought this stuff is dropping. They thought the same energy was there. Can y'all see me? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
we got you.
So
we got you now.
They thought there could be like the same energy, the same expectation. So for me, love is something it's an action, right? It's a verb. So what about you, ladies? What does love mean to you? Because it's very broad, I would say. I'll be here all day talking about it, but I just want to start off with, you know, something as simple as that. Juju says, I love to hear it and feel it. Action is a big deal for me too. Okay.
Okay.
Hey,
Right.
Mama. Blackberry 44.
So Evie, what does it mean to you? What does love look like to you?
Well, first we're gonna drop love. My love right now is this little bundle of
energy.
Person. And I just want to drop the definition real quick, right? Love, an intense feeling or deep affection. That's one, right? A great interest and pleasure in something, a person or thing that one loves, right? And so for me, love, granted, is a feeling, right? But
right.
it's in how you treat someone, you know, the affection, the feeling, just, you know, pretty much how you treat someone. But to go a little deeper into that, in that when you think about love, you think about how you treat yourself, right? And so one of the things that I had to work on is self-love, right? It's okay to be vulnerable, right? It's okay to it's okay to want to spoil yourself, right? And I had to learn that because I'm really, now that I'm a mom, I'm really finding out or experiencing what like true love is because of the connection with my daughter, who is extremely she's affectionate, you know? And so the way we are with each other, I'm like, yo, this is real love right here. So I'm experiencing, I'm living in it. And the fact that she's being herself right now. So yeah. You love, yes. So this is my love right here. This is what love means to me.
Hey, Pam.
Right.
I'm Ari.
Hey.
To me, love is broad, right? Like I said, we use the word to describe so many different things and feelings. Me, I'm a personal touch type of person, but I didn't recognize that about myself until after I really got to spend more time with myself. Like, I didn't realize that I like touch, or I didn't know how to put it in perspective. And so I guess that means like I'm a type of person who that's how I show it. I'm a hugger, I'm a toucher, I like to, I'm a massager, I'm a rubber. And not everybody can receive love like that, a rubber.
That can be
so
many different ways right now.
I know.
Listen, I didn't want to get into mine, but okay, go ahead.
but yeah, silly. But no, and I didn't understand like some people don't like that. Some people don't like the touch, or they're not. That's not what they do.
The
But
affection.
the affection part. But that's me. So when I started to, be that way with other people and it was rejected, I stopped giving that kind of
Is it
love.
over there? Hold on.
And
Mm,
that's a hard thing to be able to like to take into perspective, because you, that's how I learned how to show it. Like I wanted that. My mom was she's a talker. She spoke how she felt. She speaks how she loved. So we first learned how to deal with like how to experience love from our families, from our parents.
right,
Um and and that's how we learned how to give it back to the rest, to the world. Now my daughter,
right.
the reason I like, she is also like Ari, very affectionate. She likes to be touched. And as a baby, like I was able to say, oh, this is how I can pour it back into her, because she liked it. But I didn't become a mom until I was almost 30 years old. So all that time I didn't realize that that's how I needed to express my love. And it's weird because we all go in relationships and we all have people that we experience things with, and I didn't realize that that's how I could be able to pour my love out until I had a child who
Right.
Yeah.
liked to be touched and rubbed to sleep and rub a ear, rub a hair. And it's funny, it's like every relationship you have, you learn more about love with your
Yeah.
family,
That is absolutely
with your
true.
children,
Yeah.
significant others.
And it's
So,
funny
but
that you say that, because my
mhm,
mom wasn't the affectionate type to be hugging on you and say, I love you.
mhm,
It wasn't until like high school, I was like, Mommy, you don't ever tell me you love me? Like,
mhm,
But, being that, I didn't want to be that for Ari. I wanted to make sure that she knew that she was loved and she was cared for, that she is protected, that she could feel safe. Like,
mhm,
all those things. When someone
mhm,
truly loves you, you feel safe, you feel protected, you feel, it's the
mhm,
nurturing part of it. I'm
mhm,
genuinely a nurturing person. So when I was involved with somebody, I was always, you know, nurturing, giving, giving, giving. And
mhm,
not necessarily to receive anything in return, but that's just me generally,
mhm,
you know.
Right.
So that's how I show my love, just to pour myself into
mhm,
someone or something.
mhm,
But I
You
go,
said something that was interesting because you were referring to, family and what love looks like, right? Where you were growing up.
mhm,
And I always go back to thinking about like how we were raised culturally.
mm-hmm,
Um, it's interesting. Like my mom, affectionate type, right?
mhm,
She would words too. She would tell you love you. And I had the opposite. My dad, rest in peace, where that wasn't the words that he said. So I ironically, growing up,
mm-hmm.
when I received
There.
compliments coming from a male, I didn't know how to receive it.
mhm,
Mm.
And I started realizing that, it was just a weird thing, like, okay. And I would always question, like, if what they said was actually true.
mhm.
Right.
It's not that
Don't do that.
I didn't agree with them. It just seems weird. So going back to what you said about how you were raised, um, and it was very easy for me to believe when a woman had said
Mm.
that they
Mm,
loved or cared, because my mom was genuine. What you see, what you get with my mom. So it's very interesting how our childhood aff- affects us, right? And then also adulthood too, because like you said, Evie, your mom wasn't affectionate, right? So growing up too, that kind of shaped and molded you
Yeah.
with how you would send and receive. For some people, since they didn't get it, they would always want to send it out to people. Maybe
wow.
that's where the nurturing, the caring, I feel like I'll have to constantly give, you know. So just, so very interesting, something to think about.
See, it's
Right.
different for me. My mom, she shares her love. She shows her love through giving. She's a gift giver. She's that
Mm.
thoughtful person. Like she I bought this for you, or here, take this. She's always. I don't leave my mother's house
Yeah.
without a bag. every time I go.
Right.
Like,
So her love language is gifts.
her love language is gifts. And I purposely keep bags in my trunk because I know I'm gonna leave there with bags every time I come to visit my mother. Now my dad, he was the compliment. He spoke words. I don't get off the phone without talking to my dad without him complimenting me at least 5,000 times. And now that he has an iPhone, he see me, he compliments. I always blush. I'm almost 38 years old, and I blush every time I talk to my dad. Like every time, like no lie. Even when I be trying to be mad and I give him this face, he still makes me blush and still makes me smile like my dad. So I'm so used to hearing it from my dad and the gifts from my mom. Like that's how I know that they show their love.
Wow.
So in between, I guess Savannah gets, she gets the gifts and the compliments and the touch and everything because that's what I'm used to. That's how I view it. Like, I got a gift from mommy. Mommy bought me this, or she thought of me for this. And my dad is on, he's right in my ear, I don't know. It's funny how your family really do shape the person that you become, and then your close friends, and then it builds on that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Juju had a question. She said, "Is everyone's love language gifts, like giving and receiving them?" Well, Juju, there's 4 types of love languages, right? The first one is words, right? Affirmations, people saying things to you, "I love you," and compliments and all of that. Another one would be gifts. Some people like to get things, right? Another language would be service. Is what you're doing, like your actions, your moves. That can, like, for example, doing little things means a lot to me, which for somebody else it doesn't. Like when people take initiative to do things I didn't even ask, that goes in the back of my head. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Cook
okay.
me a meal.
Huh?
Said cook me a meal. That's low.
Right. Exactly. No, something like that. You cooked me a meal. You were thoughtful. You did something that
I didn't.
I wouldn't have thought you did. Like, yeah. So those are the things when it comes to like service, doing certain things. For some people, it could be, I don't know, taking them somewhere, right? But another one would be touch. So people like affection. So right, the hugs, the kisses, and all that stuff. But you know what? All in all, I think we all like we all, all 4. But it's just like personalities. Some things stick out more to people than others. So, I mean, having someone say "I love you" all day, every single day, is not going to do anything for me. But that's me. But some people need to always hear that. So like I said, I'm someone, I would definitely say for me it's like action stuff, and touch too is obviously important. But everybody's different. Everybody's different. So basically my love language is everything.
Everything? Pretty much, right?
Well, my love language is everything, but there's some things that we all feel more than others, that we all move to more than others.
I want to say that I think, like you said we kind of all have a little bit of each one, but I think that when you look at your relationships, right, when one is missing, like one of those acts or things is missing, I think that's when there's like that discord, like for instance, you could be dating someone who always tell you that I love you or whatever, or they're here for you and their words are affirmations, but then their actions don't align with what their words say.
Exactly.
Or their actions, they can be that person that's always there for you, but then they never say it. Or, they just shower you with gifts, but they never, speak about their love for you. So I think it needs to be a balance between all 4 of them in order for you to really grow in that love.
No.
That's me personally, I think. But
and do you think like sometimes it just depends on the situation where you need one more than the other too? So depending on who it is, so like take for instance, and love can just look like support
Mm. Yeah.
too. You know, support for whatever it is that you're doing. So I think it depends on the situation. Sometimes people don't want to say, "Yeah, you got it, girl." Right? Sometimes people need to hear, "Yeah, you go, girl." Right? Sometimes people just need you to physically be there for something. Right? So I know for me, for those who don't know, I played basketball, and the weird thing about it was growing up, there was such a, I guess, a disconnect when it came to sports because my parents were more so about academics. To me, love would be showing up to the game. But that's me, you know. But somebody would be like, "Oh, love is they help, I don't know, pay for a T-shirt," you know. So it just depends on what it is.
There's a
So what
question in the
Jay
chat.
says, what happens if the other person struggles with expressing themselves, but you feel the love? Do you need to hear it if you feel it? Hold on. What happens if the other person struggles with expressing themselves, but you feel the love? Do you need to hear it if you feel it? It depends on you. Like some people don't care. Like if some people are good with someone, seeing someone every single day, like literally all up underneath them, but not saying I love you, right? You can feel it because they're there. So I think for me, it just depends on, you know, the person. But sometimes you could just be a body. Where it's like you're there, but you don't say that you care, you know?
I think that's where that balance comes from. That like
Yeah.
you can't have more acts than the other. Like they have to kind of coincide because like just like when you think about like if you have a problem, sometimes you want to go to that person with that you have a problem, not a problem with, but a problem, and just talk about it. And you may need them to just be the person to listen. And then there's other times when you may go to them and you may need them to be the solution or help you find the solution. So it depends. Like maybe at one point you need more, you know, words of affirmations as opposed to just needing just the gifts or the, you know, the acts. I mean, it's a balance, like in everything. And finding that balance and learning, you know, what you need will better help you be able to manage those expectations that we talked about. So, and the energies.
And the energies. And the emotions.
And the emotions.
All of these.
All that.
But what do you ladies think about when it comes to loving yourself first? Because I think that, I don't know, to me, you know, it's like when people talk about like God, universe, or source, right? They're always looking outside of themselves. And I think that kind of coincides with love too, right? You looking outside of yourself for something. That's why people are always looking for validation.
Right.
And I think, well, I really do believe that it starts with us. Because once you start being able to validate what you know yourself, you believe in yourself, you have confidence in yourself, you move in such a way that people can tell from a mile away that, you know, you do care about yourself, you do care for yourself. I think it, you know, makes a difference.
You know, we weren't taught that. Well, I wasn't taught to that. I was taught to, you was taught, you love your mom, you love your dad, you love your family. But we weren't like, I didn't learn to love myself until I got older. And I mean, and I don't think that it was done intentionally. I just think that that's just the way our families, our parents, and our grandparents were taught. You know, we were taught to just give the love instead of being able to receive it and love ourselves first. And, you know, this conversation has now sparked another conversation that I'll have with Savannah. Like, make sure that you love you. Make sure that you sing yourself love, you know, every day, not just, you know, when we talk about it, but all the time, because the programming starts young. I want to program her to do differently than what I was taught to do. So loving yourself is important.
It starts from within. Like I mean, I'm sure y'all heard this. How can you truly love someone else if you don't love yourself?
True.
Right.
True.
And so
Yeah.
it's the things that we're having this conversation. The things that you tell yourself, right? Again, what you listen to, what you know, your confidence, right?
Mhm.
How you see yourself, not focus on how everybody else sees you, right?
People freak.
Because right, because and it has to do a lot with self-esteem. It's yourself, right? And we
Mhm.
oftentimes the validation, we look to other people. Like if we don't, and the thing with Instagram, Facebook, social media, if you don't get likes, oh, don't nobody love me,
Mhm.
because they didn't hit the heart, right? They didn't hit
Right.
the likes. I posted this picture. I know I look good, but don't nobody love me.
Mhm.
And so, growing up, especially as Black women, right, there wasn't often positive depictions of us when it came to television or, media and stuff like that, right? If we're passionate, we're considered angry, right? And things like that. So a lot of, not necessarily, well, maybe women our age or stuff like that. So what we saw, was what society deemed, this is how you should be, this is how you should look, this is what, this
Mhm.
is the depiction
Right.
of everybody else, as opposed to what's real, you
Mhm.
know
So
and
that kind of jades your view of what
what
love is
what
based
love
off what
is,
people are.
and
Mhm.
this whole image of perfection, right? If you don't look a certain way, if then this perfection. And when it gets down to it, everyone is flawed, no one is God. You understand what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Mhm.
And whoever
True.
you choose to, you call your higher power, right?
No one's perfect.
Mhm.
So you know what I'm saying, nobody's perfect. And so if in your head you're thinking, oh, I have to be perfect, what is perfect? you know
But perfect. No, what
you know
I
what I'm
think
saying,
that
like,
we are.
when
Yeah,
it
there's a
comes
we're
to,
we're we're perfect in our own right.
we have perfect imperfections, right?
Mhm. Right.
And
Mhm.
so it goes back, like, Mo, you touched on it with Savannah, in that, and now I'm seeing it with Ari, because I have to reiterate, you love yourself, love you for who you are, right? Don't let other people's opinion of you determine who you are. And don't just love what you see on the physical, on the outside. It comes from in here,
That's right.
Right.
right?
Right. That's right.
And
So
that's
true.
not something I was taught growing up,
Nope.
but it's something,
Right.
yes, like Mo, I'm learning now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right. Better
30
late
and
than
something
never.
other years, right?
Oh yeah.
How many years?
And so,
Whoa.
yeah, exactly. That we're learning now. But, we have to teach our kids, because, I mean, we've all seen it. You have these reality shows, these women that, oh, I love you, sis, I love you, this. And then they throwing drinks at each other, like, you just said you love your sis. Like, what? And that word gets thrown around so much, like, in relationships and friendships.
Ship the table.
I love you. Yeah, girl, I love you. And it's like, no, you don't really mean it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, is
And you
there,
spoke on something.
it's just like, for some people, it's just a filler.
Right. Right. Some people it's definitely just a filler. But you did speak on something that. What about John?
I
He
can't see all the
laughing. He's
comments.
laughing.
I know
My
that.
I
eyes,
know.
I'm so
Hold on.
far
Hold on. Hold
away.
on.
You
Nick,
know I can't see.
I can't see all
who
the
better to
comments.
tell you who and what you are other than you? That's correct,
Nobody.
Nick.
Who wrote that? Amber? Did
Um,
Amber write that?
no, that's Nick saying that.
Oh,
Oh,
what
what
Shout
up,
up,
out to
Nick?
you,
Nick?
Nick. Yes. Let me just, and I also want to, read the comments from what other people are saying too, because people are dropping some bars
Yeah,
over
I
here. I
can't see
see.
that. My eye
I'm
drought is
missing out
acting.
on that. But yes, Jay, yes, she did say a filler. People do say that as a filler, and also to appease people. So, John had said, it's like a bank account, right? Basically, what you put in, can't keep withdrawing without depositing, right? Eventually, the bank dries out. So yes, that's true. That's true. But yeah, some people definitely do say it as a filler, especially if you don't have any connection with the word,
Right.
right? So you just say it. But I want to, I was thinking when you was talking about women, right? Let's talk about men too, because
Yeah.
we got some fellas on here as well.
Thanks,
Yes.
thanks for the
What
fellas
love
tuning
looks
in.
like to them too. Because as guys, love can look like something totally different. That's also why there's a disconnect, because not just cultural standpoint, but just in society as males,
Right.
I
right?
know.
Love can look like something physical, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I mean like in a violent nature, or love can just mean only providing monetarily, only gifts,
Mm-hmm.
right? Depending on what type of household you're in.
Mm-hmm.
It could look like, okay, guys, you're supposed to just provide. You're supposed to just give money and, and hold stuff down. That's what love looks like. But
Mm-hmm.
that may not necessarily
Further
be
talking
true.
about the emotion part,
Right.
living
Right.
outside of
Having a
various
conversation.
emotions. Men, men who show their emotions, they get coined as being weak or,
Soft.
Exactly.
or
Yeah,
acting
Brad, what's
feminine.
up?
But reality is
Mm-hmm.
that we all feminine and masculine at the same time. But that's a whole nother conversation. But
Right.
I'm just saying,
Right.
like you said, they only to be seen as, giving monetarily or protecting. I mean, yeah, those things are needed, but they also need to show their emotions and be allowed to be able to show their emotions. I'm trying to make sure
Allowed
I
to be
wave to everybody.
vulnerable. Mm.
I'm trying to make sure I wave to everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. I see y'all coming through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then also, I think from a male standpoint, and any of the fellas can correct me or add to it, or give us your perspective, because obviously we're not guys. But also, like, maybe being affectionate can seem corny too.
Or what's that word
It
you use?
depends.
Simp? I don't even know.
Simp,
Simp
yeah,
or something
something.
like that?
It just depends, right? It could seem, okay, what does Jay say? Oh, he was writing paragraphs up in here.
Let's go,
All right, as a
Jay. Thanks for
Hispanic
tuning in.
man, it's thought that it's okay to show your emotions, but it's your responsibility to provide, and the wife should be okay with being a housewife. That's the old generation. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I
True.
said. Culturally speaking, there's so many things. Nick says communication is huge, but you know what I say about that? Comprehension is huge even more. That comprehension goes with that too, because you can communicate certain things,
All day
but if
long.
one person doesn't comprehend,
Right.
trust and believe it ain't gonna work.
Nope.
It's not gonna work, or there's gonna be frustration. So take it from someone who knows. Yeah, so communication is important, but comprehension. And then also you have to understand what communication means to other people. My way of communicating may not be the same for you.
Facts.
Just like your way of showing
So
love may not be the same for someone else.
right,
But you have
right.
to
So
communicate that
so
and be able
yeah.
to comprehend
And you
it.
know what? Yeah, and that's what I was saying. You can actually communicate, hey, this is, depending on what your love language is, I like it when you say these things, right? Or I like it when you give me these things, or I like to get these things, or I like, how you touch me, or I like when you do certain things. So you can communicate that to someone, but it's also up to them to
Reciprocal.
comprehend, receive, and say, you know what, this is what they like. But I think sometimes, or if not a lot of times, that's where the disconnect definitely is. She always be yelling at me. That's how she communicates. Stop lying, John. Stop lying. No, and
Because people will
it's.
assume. People will assume.
Mm-hmm.
Are they like, well, she ain't gonna like it if I do that? How you know? We can't read each other's minds. And
But
I
that's where
think
the
people shy
communication comes
away
in.
from that too. Is the whole communicating thing. Like, I don't want to say this because it made me feel this way. But at the end of the day, how is somebody gonna know if you don't tell them?
Facts.
You know, because
That's
you
definitely
got to
true.
think
Big
about it,
facts.
men and women. Some people have dealt with things in their life that, like, you know, Mo, you're affectionate, you with somebody, and because of whatever trauma that they're working through, that they have dealt with, they may not want you
Yep.
to touch them that way, and you may feel some kind of way when they are, you know, when they're standoffish from you. But until you have that conversation, right? And you know, they say, okay, well, this is what I've been dealing with. I'm working through it. Can you be patient enough with me to understand that? Or do you even want to still be with me knowing what you know? You understand what I'm saying? So,
That's where the communication comes
right.
in, and then
And
the comprehension part.
yeah, and I'm like, you know, and for men too, because there's guys out there that has, you know, dealt with things in their past or whatever the case may be. And for, you know, whether it's being ashamed of sharing it or, you know, because they feel like they're going to be looked at a certain way, they don't want to share it. You know what I'm saying? So relationships suffer because of that. So, you know, and I say men because, you know, mostly women, we as women, we always have, well, you know, we always got that spice like, yeah, you know, but he ain't doing this, he ain't doing that. And not knowing that, okay, well, I'm working through some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because we're more, as women, we're more inclined to speak up and say certain things, right?
True.
More than men.
And because also it's been, yeah, definitely so. And I think from a society norm, quote unquote norm standpoint, it's okay if a woman cries.
Yeah.
No one says you're a wimp for crying. It's just we're more emotional creatures. But I don't believe that though. I believe also men are. It's just we have been
programmed
in a sense. Yeah, pretty much. And what did John say that I said? Oh yeah. So John, yeah, we were on one of our podcasts and we had a conversation. It's so funny that you said this about, you know, men, and we had a conversation about, you know, why people do certain things. And I say, you know, hurt people. So sometimes you have to understand what someone's past was, which, like you said, is the key to learning how to treat them. Yes. And that could be, that's not easy because sometimes you just like, you like people for who they are when you met them, but you got to understand people have, you know, stuff. They have a past, they have stuff, they have baggage. That they have to work through, but not for nothing. At the end of the day, like we said, it's definitely about being able to connect with yourself first. Because if you can't give what you don't have.
Right. You got to pour into yourself every day. That self-love. That self-love is how you'll be able to express your love more to other people. You know,
So,
remember when we did when we went to the Believe Nation in January, right? And you know, David gave us that exercise where we had to call and text people who hurt us, right? Who did something to us, and we had to, you know, forgive them, call them and forgive them, and tell them, you know, I no longer hold that emotion. And then we came back, right? And then he said, "Did anybody have to call themselves?" Like when he said that, did anybody have to forgive themselves?
Right.
Because everybody was like, "I'm going down the list to who, you know." But first, we have to forgive ourselves. I think that's where the healing starts. The healing starts when we forgive ourselves and be able to like say, "Okay, I went through this, and that. I did this. I had this in my life. I had this happen to me, and I forgive myself. I forgive myself for what I went through. I forgive myself for how I reacted. I forgive myself for how I could have done something different." And I think that's where the self-love and the healing really starts. So.
Right. So John says his Gemini twin won't allow him to do that.
I'm a Gemini too. I'm a Gemini too.
Oh, you know what? You and him share the same birthday. I forgot to tell you that.
Wow. See?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
What's up,
June
birthday
20th.
Buddy?
Yep.
That's right. Drop
That's
some
your birthday,
hearts
buddy.
in the chat.
But yes, that is definitely a thing for me. And you know what? I actually put that in my story. So I don't know if it's still up on my story, but I was saying that for me, I don't know where it came from. It might be something in childhood or my past. I don't know, or something that I've developed, like some type of, as shout out to Kevin Howell, as he would say, like a rhino skin, but where I can really love someone hard. Like, I mean, hard, and then you do something, or there's a series of things that I'm noticing, and that joint is out the window. Then I'm like,
oh, wait a minute now. Is that real? Is that love, or does that come with some conditions?
no, when I say something, I don't mean like one thing and I mean like it's this is over time, type of thing, or if it's something amazing. Because you got to think about it. It's the same thing. Think about that with friendships too, right? It could be the same thing. You could look at it in that same regards where you are friends with someone, it could be for a long time, and they did something that was like, yo, do you say, hey, you jacked me up with, what you did? Or do you say, all right, cool, I'm going to move on from that? So then that's going to be the question. Was that really a friendship? Like, okay, can you not move on? So that's why it's love in a sense is crazy, because you're living off of various emotions, various energies, right? Various expectations.
That's right.
Jay's petty. I know he's petty.
We can say some petty stories. I'm not petty like that anymore. Because I'm evolving.
She's evolved from a level of petty.
I have.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of petty in me.
Petty.
I showed it the other night.
I can't.
She know what
the
I'm
thug
talking
in me
about.
can't.
Because in order to evolve, you gotta.
And you know what?
They go together.
And you said what?
In order to evolve, you gotta love. They go together.
Oh, right.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I mean, and like we say, doing that inner work, right? Doing that inner work is so important. Yep.
You can still love someone from a distance.
True.
We have a special guest.
Who's the special guest?
Oh, he
popping in. Come and say hello real quick.
You on the couch?
He said no. He said no. Hey. Welcome to the Cozy Couch. You're the first guest on
the
Cozy
first
Couch
guest
with
and math
Queens.
The math anonymous guest.
I can't right now with this.
The magnanimous guest.
What's up?
It is Mr. Energy himself.
Yes.
What's up? Y'all got a good conversation going on.
Yes, sir.
I like the couch conversations.
Yeah, Cozy Couch.
The one who's energy connected us all. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. You really.
I hope y'all taking copious notes.
Uh-huh.
I hope y'all taking copious notes. And Jay, keep being petty.
Don't listen to that.
Oh man.
I'm gonna hit Jay up because I like to hear the petty stories, so I ain't even gonna hold
listen. This is what me and him gonna chat. He's probably gonna call me after this. So I'm gonna definitely speak with him tomorrow.
I'm here for it.
At times now. It's okay.
What'd you say, Evie?
I said it's okay to be a little petty at times now.
Yeah, it's entertaining at times. Yeah. But my true nature, my true spirit, like I don't even have time for that. Like that's why I said for me, like once I'm just annoyed or bothered with something, I'm just like I'm ghost.
Oh, I do it for entertainment.
Well, that's part of self-love too, because now you realize that you know what, I can't give all my love, my energy, my emotions, or no longer giving any of my expectations to someone who's not worthy of it. So I can rock with you on that one.
Yeah.
You have to love. You have to love in I guess in compartments. You got to love where your love can be received.
Just like you got to put people where they at.
Right, put them in boxes. That's my thing. I put people in boxes. So yes, this was definitely a unique conversation.
Mhm.
Like,
What
look
Jay
here, we
said?
go on. The truth just come off petty because people think you're attacking them when you speak in facts.
Facts.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true. See,
That's true. I can rock
yeah,
with it.
who
yeah.
wrote that? I can't see
Look
the
at that.
comments. You know, my iDroid is
Jay
acting
wrote that.
That Jay wrote that. Jay
up.
wrote
Okay.
that. Yes, but sometimes you know what? But petty at times, the reality of it, some things don't even have to be said.
No.
That's when the petty comes.
That's where the actions come in.
That's
You could just
right.
exit stage.
Uh,
Yes. Yes. That's
But it
when
was
definitely
so
when the
fun
actions come
though.
in.
It was just so fun.
Yeah, but petty can be entertaining at times. It can be. But you know what? The real flex is when you just ignore, quite honestly.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
your
that's the
silence does speak volumes.
That's right.
right. So
Yeah.
that's
Because
yeah.
trust
Because guess what?
when
Because
you
you're busy
silent, people
growing.
be
That's funny.
mad. You be
You
like,
coming over here?
yo, all the spices and you still choose to be salty? Like, why though? You know what I'm saying? Yo, I cannot.
Yeah.
Kevin is crazy.
I hope y'all taking copious notes. Copious notes. Make sure you're taking copious notes.
Oh,
Oh man.
I love it.
oh.
Oh man. Oh, hold on. Jay said
What
something.
he said?
You don't handle it.
Wait, say that again.
What did you
You
say?
ask a question. How do you handle petty in your relationship, though? So the
Yes, that was what I was gonna ask.
yeah,
Mhm.
He's everywhere.
you don't handle petty. It's not. You don't handle it. You just don't handle it.
He said, ain't nobody got time for that.
Petty plus petty equals what? More petty.
True.
Petty plus no petty equals whoever is acting petty stays petty.
They gonna
Don't
stay
stoop down
salty.
to people's level. Raise them up to yours.
Mm.
Ooh.
Bars. Bars. Yo, I can't with him right now.
Say that.
Oh my gosh. So what he said, my wife, Chico, they petty.
What?
All right.
Is this gonna be another conversation?
Jay, what did he say? My wife, Chico,
Maybe he
they crazy?
bars. That's all I got.
Well, I hope she's not on the live. I think she's crazy, but but yeah, that's how it goes in the world of love. Love is complicated, man. It's one of those. But love can be very beautiful, very beautiful. So that's whether you referring to friendships. That's whether you family,
Significant
or
others, children.
significant other, intimate, children.
We didn't touch
I
on
need to,
loving your position in life as far as what you do to the world, what you give to the world, as far as business or your gifts or things like that.
right. So yeah, your passions is something of importance too. But guess what? When you find you, right? When you find
Yeah.
when you find that, you'll definitely find your passion. There's a saying, when you find your what, you find your why. Right?
That's
Bars.
true.
Right.
I'm gonna have to replay
I guess,
this because we got bars.
yeah. And even in reverse too, when you find your why, you find your what. Like your why is what hurts you. What is it that you feel so deeply about? And then you find, what your interest is. Your more so your gift. So that you're able to share to the world.
So with all that said, guys.
Hold on. He said, bring him on. He got a bar. Hold on.
Okay. All right. I'll bring him
on.
Let's go. Here we go. You on?
Oh,
There we
Ask that,
go.
ask that question again. What was the question again? I heard.
Which one?
About your love for your gifts. I
Your
mean,
gifts?
what you do business wise, your interests.
Nah, the one that you just finished breaking down, the answer you gave just now. What was the question?
I, oh,
no,
Mo, you
you
asked
had
that
asked the
question.
question.
Oh, I said, besides just, your love for family and friends and your significant others, your love for your passion, your love for what you give to the world, that's how I want to elaborate on that part.
Oh, okay, say again.
Make sure you turn off your Wi-Fi because
I did.
okay. No, I was saying how, we talked about love for your family and your friends and your significant others and all of that. And let's talk about the love that we have with our gifts that we give to the world, that we give to, other people. Like, not just your job, but what you're passionate about, your career, how you are, giving your love to the world.
So what you're saying is, how do we express our love to the world?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
And some of you guys said by giving, right?
Mm-hmm.
By giving, right?
Yeah.
So I guess for me, I'll just use myself for example. In giving my love is through sharing everything that I've learned on the topic of and what it means to me, right?
Mm,
Because most people, I actually had an opportunity to kind of hear majority of the call, right? And the one thing that I actually took out of the call, based on what you guys were talking about, was love for self, right? You can't give something you get. So if you did get it, or if you do understand some sort of expression of it, how do I give it to the world? Teaching other people what I know about that topic. Because most,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, I heard you guys say, most people look on the outside for something
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
that you should be searching for on the inside, right? So when you find that in which is on the inside of you, the way you get other people to understand that and to also learn how to find it themselves is by sharing your experience with her on that
mm,
topic. For
Mm-hmm.
me, it was the love of self that meant the most, right? Men, especially, are not taught to love self. Really not. There's no specific manual that a father teaches another son how to love self, right? Usually, mothers teach men and everybody else how to love because she is the mother of all.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
if you get me today, if you want to learn how to truly love, you truly have to learn it from your mother or the mother or a mother or somebody who is of the feminine principle.
Yeah.
That's where you truly learn it from. That's where I learned it from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From my mother. Watching her, not by what she said, but how she acted in
Mm-hmm.
any situation. Any situation. Father, totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come up in a society, the only thing that is passed down to you is what somebody else got. So guess what, guys? Guess what, ladies? If somebody didn't have something, how could they pass it down to you? So we
Mm-hmm.
right.
have to figure things out. How do you get on the path and journey to figuring out how to love self?
Love yourself.
Mm,
Because most of us never thought to find out how to do it because we didn't realize it was a curriculum.
Say that part one more time, Tab, because you went out. I want to make sure that they can hear it.
So what I said was, how can you find from somebody who didn't get it? How can they pass it down to you, right?
right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
about it, guess what happens? Think about how do you really that journey to finding, like, how does that, how do you start to think about is that's what I'm longing for? You get to that point by figuring out the thing that you're on the outside. You have to do is apply it on the inside. For love and
Right.
looking for love in this man, which you realize
Mm-hmm.
this person, or you're looking for validation from the creator, whatever. And the whole time you're not feeling whole because you're going in the wrong direction, looking for something that you're supposed to give yourself. Nobody taught us that, did it? So how do we give love to, and how do we give our gift and share all that good stuff to the world? It's through our experience. That's how I look at that. And I think once people focus on themselves and anything, they able to do give to everybody. That becomes my best friend. They know Andre. That was our conversation. Like, hey, I'm just trying to figure out purpose. I said, you're not gonna do this to me today. What did I tell you? Your purpose. Your purpose is whatever you find that you love. Purpose. Most people are all looking for your purpose, and you're looking for it to just drop out. But your purpose becomes that thing in which you love doing, that you choose to make it your purpose. You say what your purpose is. Your purpose just goes out. You start identifying some things that you may be good at or you may love doing, and you choose. Because remember who is the creator. Think about it. We just trying to figure out what God's purpose is. Who the God?
He's within you.
Ourselves.
Remember, because sometimes we
within
go,
you.
All things is possible with God, Christ, and unity that lives within you. Right.
So sometimes we go back to that, right? Thinking that we're looking for that answer outside of us. It's you.
Already here.
Already here.
God
Thank
lives
you.
within you.
Type that in the chat. You are already here. So guess who gives you your purpose? You do. You give you your purpose. The highest intelligence. The God is within you, right? So when you had a, so what is my purpose? Oh, let me think. Oh, it's whatever I choose. Until you find it out, you live your life learning, and then one day you wake up, you're like, my purpose. That's how you look at it. Because if you stay in limbo, you'll always be like, you'll never have the balance. But because you figure out, where's that purpose at? You're not showing it to me, but you keep looking up, not showing it, looking in the mirror and saying, I need you to show me. It's whatever you receive. All right, so I'm gonna get off the couch. Love y'all.
Later.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Wow.
you, Sensei.
Look at the time.
I know. Man, I mean, look, because I mean, when you talk about love, you could go on and on.
It was 10:10 when
it
I
can
said
be
look at the
so
time.
simple, or it can be so complex. But I want to definitely thank the viewers for y'all had some good,
They came through
some
tonight.
really, they came through with some good information, right? Good perspectives.
Thank you.
Shout out to y'all.
So
IG needs to
guys,
get away where we could be able to retract the chat so that we could, give the flowers where the flowers are due, because you guys really did say some phenomenal things.
Thank
and
you,
thanks
guys.
for dropping.
Thank you.
Dropping in the chat, your idea of love and how you feel, and it's important that like Kev said, like we, share that love with others, that experience with others. That was dope right there.
Right. So at the end of the day, love is you, because you are the creator of what everything that you want, and you have everything that you need. So yes, most definitely.
Right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Cozy Couch Conversation with the three queens from Queens, where your Saturday night start here.
So, peace.
Right? Peace. With two fingers together, never separated, because it's all about togetherness. We love you.
Love yourself first.
Love yourself first.
Absolutely.
God bless. Good night.
Good night.